How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Charlie, and welcome back to This Week in Boxing. Apologies for the late edition.
Just been busy, innit?
Been busy and a bit of a rough Saturday night.
We won't go there though.
No, I definitely won't go there. Bit of a rough Saturday night. And then we've tried to make it Monday evening, and it's now approaching 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's not always the worst thing in the world, you know. Take a bit of time to let the fights marinate in the mind.
Yeah.
You know, be a bit more candid with our opinions, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Let's see how it goes.
Candid though, I don't think that fits your repertoire, mate.
Listen, another day to be a bit more considerate in my thoughts and my opinions, you know.
All right then, let's get to those thoughts and opinions. Let's go with this week's fights, and there's a few cards this weekend. Let's go for just a couple or one or two on each card. Let's start with Friday. We've got a problem in the heavyweight division.
Who's your problem? Who's your problem?
No, he's not my problem. He's the problem for these other heavyweights. Moses Ituma. I think this guy is serious.
He looks good, but who did he fight on Friday?
He's at the development stage where he's just coming into the game. He's maybe like 4 or 7.
Yeah.
He's fresh. Yeah. He's very, very fresh. But he's 18 years old.
True.
Speed, power,
true,
technique.
True.
At this level, he's shown a decent chin when he's been hit. He's been hit. He hasn't run away from it. And body structure tells me something about someone. And respectfully, he's got the body of an undeveloped man.
No, he will do at 18 years.
And this is what I'm trying to say here, right? Like he weighed 245 pounds, I think, and he didn't have no muscle. He wasn't hugely. He's just a naturally big heavyweight. Once he settles down and his body fills out, we have got a massive problem. I can't wait to watch his career.
Yeah, we do have to see him against a higher level opposition, but you're right. For his age, and even the way he enters the ring with bad intentions every time he enters the ring, he looks like he just wants to do damage. But
when he done an interview with one of the, I don't know if it was IFL or Seconds Out, whatever, this week, and the interview just before the fight was very like he's not into the hype and the playing around the games. He wants the heavyweight title before 21 was to break the record. He's a serious cat. I'll tell you right now, he may have been with less opposition, but I'll put him with the likes of David Adelaide right now. Yeah, seriously, no joke here. It might seem it's early, but I think he is that good.
Yeah, 18, I don't, take time.
I agree.
I understand what he wants, and he wants to beat Tyson's record and all that good stuff, but I think let's take time. Yeah, I'm not calling him another Dubois.
Yeah,
I'm not calling him another Dubois in any shape or form, but we've been here before.
No, I agree, and I don't want to sound overexcited, but if you guys who know me with boxing, I'm not overly excited, like, ooh, jump up for people, but I think he's good. I think he's very good. I think he's much better than we're seeing right now. I mean, just the things he does, those little things, I'm impressed.
No, true.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. He looks impressive, but again, I'm just trying to carry it with the opponents he has faced.
Yeah.
Who he faced, was it Friday night?
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, he was only given a couple, I think it was 10 days notice or 12 days notice before the fight.
They're not top, and I don't expect it to be top notch, but then I think, he's still got some gears to go up.
I'll say this, that yes, they're not the top echelon to fight right now, but he should be blowing everyone out in a round.
And that's what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to give you a little bit of rounds, a bit of movement, a little something, couple rounds, 3 rounds maybe. They're not lasting 90 seconds.
He doesn't look like a guy that's interested in
doing they're not lasting 90 seconds.
He doesn't look like he was interested in doing that.
Yeah. All right, then. Let's move on to Saturday night.
Well, there was another fight Friday night. There's a couple of careers that got ended at the weekend, I think. There's a couple of careers, so I think big shout out to Nathan Gorman, but I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah, I think if you turn up in that sort of shape.
Yeah, he didn't look in good shape at all.
Yeah, look, I know there's heavyweight means you can be, you don't have to be body beautiful, as they say, but no, not for me.
All right, so there's a thing for me, and I've said this 101 times. If you're a professional athlete and you don't have a 9 to 5 job, you have one job Monday to Friday. and that's to stay in shape.
I can't argue. Listen,
That's
as I
to stay in
said,
shape.
you don't have to be built like an Adonis, chiseled, all that stuff. No, but
just stay in shape.
Yeah,
just stay in shape. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, but
Okay, so I'm not taking digs at Gorman in particular, but if the average guy could go 9 to 5 and still get in the gym 1 hour a day to keep himself in shape, a professional athlete of any discipline should be able to do that.
Yeah, and if you're not, you got to win.
Yeah,
you got to win. But if you're losing and you've got a bit of a losing streak going on,
yeah,
probably says it's something to do with your discipline.
The last one was Fabio. A few fights before that was Dubois.
Yeah, I mean they're not bad names, but this guy you lost to at the weekend.
No, they're not bad names, but it shows that you're not competing with your peers.
That's true. Yeah, because it's been shown that Fabio is of A level at the moment.
Yeah,
and you would expect, at similar sort of ages, like you're saying, and Gorman's had a bit more. No, sorry, I'm getting it wrong. Fabio is obviously better than Adelaide. Sorry, so Fabio probably is a level up from Gorman if we're fair. Sorry, I got that wrong. But yeah, so I don't think there's any shame in losing to Fabio at the moment because I think Adelaide is.
I don't think there's shame. I'm just saying that when you're in a group of fighters, and they're your peers, you win one, you lose one, you kind of in the same mix.
Yeah,
he's kind of taken himself out of that mix where he lost to Dubois, then he lost to Fabio, then he lost to this guy.
I think this guy is the one.
Yeah,
I think this guy's the one. This guy's the one, and like you say, you've had a couple of near misses. You then should think, oh, let me step into gear, let me get into probably better shape. But you turn up like that after a couple of defeats against somebody who's probably not as good as the two you lost to before. Yeah, as I said, maybe you've got to start thinking about doing something else. Yeah. But, let's hope you can turn it around. Sorry, and on to Saturday.
Yeah. Don't know where to start with Saturday.
Well,
Conlan.
Yeah, as I said, a couple of careers were ended at the weekend, and Michael Conlan.
Michael Conlan.
Losing to Jordan Gill. Now that was is it Jordan
Gill?
Yeah, that was unexpected. Unexpected.
So I tell you what, only if I could describe it as Conlan was struggling to swim. Yeah, and when I say that, it's like he was there, but he just couldn't keep it up.
He's had some hard fights.
Some hard fights. Yeah, he just couldn't keep it up.
No, he's had some.
Know what I mean? When he got dropped in the second, I think the round after that, he was kind of just holding it together. They just kind of pulled away from him slowly, bit by bit. You could see the fight.
He was getting back into the fight a little bit.
Yeah, that's in the first couple. The first round, couple rounds after, he was all right. But then the fight was just getting taken out of him.
Yeah, he's had some hard fight, and I think it's sad. It's one of the saddest things in boxing to see, but sometimes the game catches up with you.
Yeah, I can't remember just before he turned pro, there was a big issue when he turned pro. There was something, I can't remember where it was. It's like someone's career just is not destined to spark the way it's supposed to spark. You know what I mean? Like, as an amateur and coming to the game, he looked like a future world champion. 3 attempts at a world title, doesn't get none of them. Good fights, good fighter, it just doesn't fit there. And like for Jordan Gill, this is like a lottery ticket.
No, absolutely, because he's come.
Yeah.
As stone cold out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because and he had a story as
well.
There's
difficulties.
Yeah, he had a story. Some real, he'd been in some dark places.
Yeah.
So it's a real good story. It's a good story for any one of us who's out there that's going through any struggles. It's a real positive.
There's a phrase what you hear, and I can't remember. It's like one man's misfortunes, another man's fortune, or something like that. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. And I think this is one of the scenarios there where, as much as everyone likes Conlan, as much as you see the potential and the growth in XYZ, you're looking at it now and thinking, well, that's his loss. We feel sorry for him, but this actually might have saved Jordan and put something in his mind and say, wait a minute, I could do this. Yeah,
and it remains to be seen whether Jordan Gill's found his weight and found his place, because obviously he's gone up in weight, or whether it's just Conlan's had one tough fight too many.
Yeah.
And I think it's the latter.
I think it's the latter. I didn't think it was a bad stoppage. And he could look at it and say, well, I could come back. But I think that's how we got to hammering to our favourite fighters that sometimes hanging around just one fight too long is not good for you. I mean, you had a good career. We can see there's a slippage now. You're no longer the athlete or the fighter you once were.
Yeah.
You've got a little money in the account, call it a day. Yeah. Sometimes you have small horse show fighters that fight on for years and years because they have no choice, they have no income. When you made a little decent living at the sport, call it a day before it goes too far.
Yeah. I guess the other side to that is, like you say, manage your money. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if you can, get good people around you and manage money. Because, like you say, if you haven't, sometimes if that's all you know what to do, if that's all you know to do, then it drags you back. But sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's the inability to cope without it. Yeah.
There's a desire, like a lot of fighters, we spoke about this before, there's a lot of fighters that obviously the training, the admiration of the fans, the big arenas, the bright lights, like it is a calling card, you know what I mean? Like it's addictive, you know what I mean? But your health comes first.
Agree.
You know what I mean?
To say, you're not wrong, but
yeah. All right then, let's move on to Saturday night in America.
Well, it started before that, didn't it? Started before Saturday night.
I had a tough Saturday night, so
not the actual Saturday night, but there's a bit we probably should touch on before Saturday night. So Saturday night, the main event.
Yeah.
I mean, there was obviously some decent fights on the undercard. Now the co-main event wasn't the actual co-main event we expected, because our friend Mr. Hara Davis had some visa issues, so it's a pity he didn't get his big night. But we had Garcia, and I think it started before the Garcia Duarte fight.
Yeah.
I think the story started at the press conference.
All right.
The last press conference, I think before the weigh-in, the story started then. I think we exchanged some messages. I'll let you start, because you have an opinion. I have an opinion.
All right. So let me start with the execution of Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if you say a bad word against this guy.
I'm a huge Bernard Hopkins fan. I think everyone knows how much I respect and admire Bernard Hopkins' career and the way he done things for the right or the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Hopkins apologies.
Right? Hopkins was wrong.
Wow.
Yeah? He was wrong, yeah.
Coming from
you can't tell a fighter, we decide when you fight and we do some we decide when how your career goes, literally threatening him. And the way Ryan Garcia came to the stage and broke it down, I'm trying to say, then dropped saying that you'll never lose and blah blah blah, and then Joe Smith knocked you out. Know what I mean? Yeah? Well done for Ryan, for standing up to yourself. Listen, there's a lot of things out there that I'm trying to say, and again, it's kind of going off boxing. As a human, as a man, as a woman, as anyone with any pride or respect, you can't let people step on you.
No, true.
You can't let people step on you. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
He showed courage, I'll be honest, with two legends stood there to take them on.
And promoters, and they got money, they got everything. Listen.
Showed courage.
It's not about being violent or being aggressive or being strong or being stuff. It's about having self-respect. Yeah? If you're going to talk bad about me, I'm going to say something about you. Yeah? And he stood up for himself and told Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya, shut your mouth, basically.
Pretty much. He did backtrack afterwards, but at that point in time, he did.
I don't think it was a backtrack as much. No, I'm trying
possibly
to say.
Not. Possibly not. They probably had words.
Being diplomatic.
Yeah, they probably had words. Words. And one thing I will say is, you said at that point in time, and I know we're jumping a bit, but you said he has to go out and win. Yeah. Because once he goes out and win, he holds more cards. And I think that was probably the position he was coming from.
Yeah. And again, I'll say this as well. I believe Ryan Garcia when he said that he believed Hopkins and Oscar were talking and promoting Durante as the main event to win.
Yeah, he was.
They wanted him to win. No, they wanted him to shut Garcia down.
I think so. And I can't disagree with that. And I mean, you're right. What Hopkins said initially about controlling a man's career, that's a load of rubbish. It's a load of BS, we know. But I do think when Hopkins at that press conference mentioned boxing calling calling its bluff or calling their bluff. He was right. There are some question marks against Ryan Garcia's professionalism. The fact it was at a catch weight and not at 140. Can be seen
142,
143. 143. That again, you've got to question his professionalism. But
I'm trying to say though, and this is what I'm trying to say. This way, where Hopkins and De La Hoya, they need to be careful, because there's some real boxing fans out there like ourselves that will pull their card, How many times did Oscar or De La Hoya do some sort of catch weight scenario? They're the promoters. So they knew and done a negotiation for the contract, Let's not forget this as well,
No, I agree.
Talking about controlling fighters' careers. Why did Oscar leave Bob Arum? Why did Hopkins leave Don King? Why was Hopkins in the Fury put into the wilderness for many years? Why did Oscar open his own company and do all the bits with Richard? Why? For these type of comments.
No, I agree. You saw what, because I think it's after Floyd, isn't it? And then they start,
This is what I'm trying to say, like that. For new boxing fans, they go, oh yeah, we're not sure about that. We've been watching boxing for 35 years, 40 years.
Agree, but it still doesn't, just because they did it, doesn't make it right. And I understand, like, even with Derek James, there may be an issue with weight cutting. He's probably a bit cautious in terms of cutting weight, cutting weight the right way. So maybe with Ryan Garcia, with the Tank fight, with, I don't know, I'm going for a tangent here, but Errol Spence with the Crawford fight, maybe, he didn't have Garcia with the Tank fight, it wasn't him, I think it was Gooseman at the time, but maybe they're wary about him being weight drained and wanting him, now he's just started with a new trainer to cut the weight progressively. I don't know, I'm guessing there. Could be a bit of that. Again, with the Errol Spence experience, maybe he's again thinking he doesn't want a fighter again cutting weight aggressively. Don't know why it was at 143, but for whatever reason, if he's a 140 fighter, he should be fighting at 140. If that's what he is. If he's not, then go up.
Okay, but this is what I'm trying to say, I can't remember off the top of my head when Hopkins went up to like heavyweight. He had many fights at 170, not 175, not 168, 170. I'm trying to say. Oscar famously, no, that was not Oscar. When he was promoting Canelo, he had to fight with Floyd at 152. Yeah, that's all negotiation. I mean, these are so you're putting the onus on the fighter, but the guys that negotiated the contract agreed it. Which was you, Oscar and Bernard.
True.
You know what I mean? Like,
but there is, again, even without the weight, there are still some questions about Ryan's professionalism. There's still like he talks even himself about being more dedicated this character than other. Why does it take so long for the penny to drop?
No, I get that. And again, don't get me wrong. Because I'm defending Ryan, it doesn't mean I'm sitting with rose glasses for Ryan Garcia. Hopkins and De La Hoya both have two of the most amazing boxing careers. If anyone's going to guide your career to make you a legend, an all-star, a Hall of Famer, a multiple weight champion, those two guys know exactly how to do it.
Do they?
No, one. Hopkins is a two-weight champion.
I know, but
look at De La Hoya. The point I'm making is that these guys know how to navigate the sport.
Let's ask a question, because maybe you're a knowledgeable man. You might be able to educate me. What ex-fighters are made good promoters? Because I can't name one. Because you know why? Because they're more. It's all about them. Listen, Mayweather's got a prodigy now. And he spent half the time in a press conference before and after talking about himself. And it doesn't mean that I like you, Hopkins, me, and Mayweather. But it don't, when it comes to promoting, he's no good. He's no good.
Question. Good point.
He's no, and then I look at the way Hopkins, where I see a promoter's job. And whether we crack on about people like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn knows how to look after his fighters. Make them feel good. Make them feel $1 million and talk them up. That to me is a promoter's job. These two, and I saw Eddie do an interview afterwards, and I don't usually agree with the man, but I had to agree with him. These two, Ryan Garcia was fighting his opponent, his own demons, plus his two promoters.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Plus his two promoters, and he got the W. And so Again, we talked about Katie Taylor last week and having a faith in a greater power to help to get through what she had to get through. And I think it was the same for Ryan Garcia. I think he needed to tap into that greater power because he was fighting everyone.
Do you see Oscar's comment after the fight? That we'll be around Ryan and help him and guys reporting for so long.
He did what he needed to do.
Yeah, now you're trying to kind of kiss his ass a little bit. Know what I mean? If I was Ryan, the sooner you get out of that contract, the better.
I don't look. I could, like I said, I'm not saying that Hopkins is right or whatever, but I think Hopkins is at least in his character more consistent. Yeah, if he's going to be an a-hole, he's an a-hole. Oscar De La Hoya.
You got problems with Oscar.
I've got a problem. He's a snake.
Yeah, right.
He's a two-faced snake.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't even know the man.
I'll say this, is that
but I can see it.
If you have a disagreement with an individual person, you can have a one-to-one and maybe resolve that problem. When you got an individual with two people and those two guys are best friends and business partners, you may resolve it with one. Yeah. You're not going to resolve it with the other. Yeah, there's going to be some hidden resentment from one of those two guys moving forward.
Well, cut him off then.
He needs to get out.
Yeah, but that's what Eddie said. If he's such a problem, cut ties. But they know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah. I mean,
cut ties. If he's such a problem, other pros will just drop him. Look. In Aram dropped Crawford.
Yeah.
Not dropped, but you know what I mean? 7 times with Crawford.
The difference with Aram, that Aram's got fighters.
I fully agree.
Tell me, Ryan Garcia is the biggest fighter Golden Boy have.
No.
Yeah, if they lose Ryan Garcia, I don't know where Golden Boy is.
I fully agree, but at the moment, and I know he's got to get back in the ring, pound for pound, Terence Crawford is hot. Yeah. At the moment, right? And Aram said, there's no finance in it, we don't get on, and just said that's it. But so that can happen. It can happen even if you've got hunger. But like you said, I fully agree. They've got no one else. So why are you treating him like that then?
So here's the difference though, and here's a big difference. Top Rank had most probably the best history in boxing for building guys from scratch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning of your career, first fight, second fight, third fight, they had built stars. Yeah. I think it's very, very hard for Golden Boy to say that. They didn't build Canelo. Canelo had another contract that got bought out by Golden Boy when he was like 15 or 16 fights in. Yeah. The part I'm making is they haven't really built someone from beginning to end.
Well, stop slagging these people off because they slagged off Canelo. Yeah. Now they're slagging off Garcia. They're slagging these people off and they're meant to be promoting them. So they think they're bigger than their fighters.
But this is not a boxing. You know what it's about rich people, innit? Yeah? Do whatever they want. They don't care. Money makes you an arsehole. Oh, I think that's what they say. If you could always off subject, but look at this whole Puff Daddy situation. Yeah, right? When you got money, you could do whatever you want and pay people off. Yeah? Right or wrong, save the hassle of going to court, just pay the money. Guess what? I gave you 5 mil. Guess what? I got 500 mil. It makes no difference. When you got money and you own your company, you own your own stuff, you could do whatever you like, because at the end of the day, if you make money with this guy, cool, I got more money. But if I don't have you, I'm not losing out financially, because I already got millions and millions and millions.
I don't know what they're doing it for then. I have no idea.
Do you get my point though?
I understand what you're saying. So they feel that they're not, like I said, they feel they're bigger than the stars they've got. Yeah. But then what are you doing it for? What are you promoting for?
For a small hall promoter, making money keeps your business afloat.
I just think
when you're the top end of making, when you got so much money and backing and contracts, you already got it.
Oh, I don't know what these guys are. I don't know. Yeah.
All right then. Well, that's our talk for the week regarding the fights over the week.
We haven't got to the fight. We didn't even get to the fight.
Oh, we didn't get to the fight, did we?
We never got to the fight. We're still on Friday. On Thursday. We didn't get to Saturday.
Oh, I didn't. It was a funny performance from Ryan Garcia. I think he started strong, and then I think he felt he was comfortable. And he did a lot of moving and not a lot of punching. And Durante couldn't really catch up to him with the footwork.
What is Duarte?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he had some power.
Yeah.
And he probably got, I won't say hurt, but he had to
touch with something.
Yeah. So he had to it was a lot of moving. I thought it was a discipline because the crowd were booing, you know. And I think whereas a couple of weeks ago Stevenson was letting the crowd affect him. Yeah, I think he just kind of blocked that out.
Yeah.
And just carried on with what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just protected himself. I thought smartly. I thought when a stoppage came, it almost seemed like he was surprised.
Yeah. So,
it was strange. It almost like he went back to his court, but he was surprised at what happened.
I think Ryan caught him with a good hook on the slide, but I don't think Ryan loaded it. Yeah, so I think he might be surprised.
He looked surprised. He looked surprised,
right? But the stoppage was correct.
Yeah.
He was on the floor. He tried to jump up at 10 and try to argue. No, if you're fine, you get up at 8. Yeah, or 9. Why wait till the ref goes 9 and then try and get up? And then you're gonna try to complain after the fact.
He looked all over the place. And to be fair, there was an accumulation. It wasn't at that time. Over a few rounds, Ryan was catching him.
It was a slow beat down.
And he was doing his Mayweather shoulder roll.
Yeah.
And getting hit on the back of the head.
No people talk about ring general shit where you're not throwing punches, but you're actually controlling the fight with your footwork. You know what I'm saying? You're out of range, you're not really getting in touch in defense. I'm trying to say, So, yeah.
He was disciplined, which he definitely wasn't against Gervonta Davis.
He got greedy with Gervonta.
He was ill-disciplined. At this fight, he was disciplined. He stuck to the game plan. He didn't get impatient.
Yeah.
He respected the guy's power.
Mm.
It wasn't a spectacular show.
No.
But...
but I'll say
the result.
I'll say so, like, again, let's go back to it. He had to win with all the pressure on him.
No, he was
so playing it safe was mostly
I fully agree.
Playing it safe was because of what happened in the week.
He came off the back.
He couldn't take the risk.
He was fighting everyone. Came off the back of a defeat.
Yeah.
He's fighting his 2 promoters, not 1, but 2, like you said. He was fighting his opponent, who was game, confident, and a dangerous puncher.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not of the same pedigree, maybe not, but was a live opponent.
Yeah.
And he had his own demons, like we said, as well as the defeat. So, he was fighting everyone and he came through. So I think it's going to be a massive, massive weight off his shoulders.
Yeah.
And we'll see where he goes next.
It
wasn't much of note on the undercard. There was young Golden Boy talent.
I didn't get to see the undercard yet.
Yeah, there was come back to me. Then will come back to me. I think they call him kids. Sorry, slipped my mind. But yeah, he was pressing on, but he wasn't really fighting anyone.
Yeah.
And then Shane Mosley Jr.
got
a knockout win.
Yeah.
They say he's on course for a title.
I'm not sure about that.
No, I was going to say I don't really see it myself. Don't really see it myself, but it's a nice story.
Yeah,
it's a nice story while it lasts.
I'm not gonna lie and act like I've been watching Shane Mosley Jr.'s career. I kind of lost interest in it a few years ago. But he's getting a title shot strictly off the name.
I don't know how old he is, but
strictly off his name.
So I was watching him in the Contender when I was in my teens.
Yeah, this what I mean. I remember that.
He's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm joking, but it wasn't that long ago. But anyway.
All right then, let's go with the news. Not loads of news this week, but a few interesting bits. Devin Haney's fighting Regis Prograis this week.
Yeah.
They're getting heated as well. I'm looking forward to this Saturday night.
Yeah.
I've been waking up for that one.
Yeah, I can't. It is a big fight. It's a big fight. And it's some nice stories behind it. But yeah.
But Devin Haney this week gave up all his belts at 135.
Yeah.
He is no longer undisputed at 135, which is a good thing for the division. Frees up the division. But it is a risk. And I prefer that it's a risk. Because holding the belts for no reason, if you're not going back, is spoiling the sport. But that was his backup plan.
I'm sitting here, and as I sit here, I want Prograis to do it, right? Because he's the underdog. But deep down, all the signs tell me that Haney's going to beat him. Now, and this is one of the signs for me. He fought at 135, and we've had this conversation. Yeah. Although he's achieved what he's achieved, I don't necessarily rate Kambosos.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgive me again with my pronunciation. I thought he beat Lomachenko, yeah, but it was a close fight. I don't rate his punch power. I don't, because I think he should be knocking out George Kambosos.
Yeah.
But he didn't. If he was really heavy-handed.
Yep.
Because even Teofimo I think put him down in later on. Is it? Did he put him down? Even though he lost, I'll have to go back and check. I'm sure he hurt him. Definitely hurt him. Even though he got put down himself or hurt himself. So yeah, I'm going off that, but so I had my doubts about him, but then having seen Stevenson recently, and knowing that he's going away and giving up his belts, as you said, and this is his first fight at this weight class, and he's saying this is his natural weight. That's what he's saying. He seems quite an intelligent lad. Regardless of some of his comments and him and his father's behaviour irk me, but I've got to give him credit where it's due. Confident lad, and everything, and he's dedicated. Dedicated, and I think that dedication to me tells me in his mind he's got a plan somewhere.
All right, so I get your points on there. I have no problem with the Lomachenko fight. I think it was a close fight and it could have gone either way. If you scored it for Loma or you scored it for Devin Haney, it was a close fight. I don't see the controversy. Close fights happen in boxing. That's what happens.
I personally thought Haney won.
Yeah, like if they get to Lomachenko, you wouldn't hear me complain about it. I mean, it was a close fight.
I probably would have, but
it wasn't the biggest robbery. It wasn't the biggest robbery in sport where people go.
I don't think it was a robbery at all. But anyway,
so but here's my thing, and I respect that he gave up the belts. Yeah, right. It's the best thing for boxing to do that. Yeah, and what's good for boxing helps boxing. So that's where I give him his credit. As if I was Devin Haney, or his father, or his manager, or his promoter, I would say, don't give up the belts yet. No. Wait till you wait 5 days, secure your world title in this fight first. Because regardless if you like Haney or not, people still call him Chinny. Yeah, right? Even though he hasn't been knocked out, he gets chicken legs a couple times. We've seen it a couple times, yeah? Proggy could punch. And Proggy's not a joke.
I don't think he's a joke.
He's not a joke here, and I'm saying as a commodity, as a business, hold your backup plan.
I told you, I'm behind I want Progress to win. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I will be supporting Progress. But like I said, it's just the signs. And if you can't, too many fighters mess around. Yeah. Right? And if you know your body and you know he's growing, he's a young boy.
I agree.
I call him boy, young man. Yeah. Sorry, it's a bit. Apologies. And if he knows he cannot make that weight, he's no point draining himself down at the weight to be vulnerable.
I agree. But he gave her the belts 7 days, 10 days before the fight.
Because he probably thinks he can't make that weight. Too many people hang on.
You're missing the point. I agree. I think it's better for boxers.
So what's he going to do with it? Well, if he doesn't do that, what's he going to do?
Would it be better to wait 10 days?
He waits 10 days. Respectfully, what does he do if he knows he can't make the weight? He goes down a weight, he's vulnerable, and gets beaten by...
If he loses the program, he still has those belts there. That is enough negotiating power to get one of the other big guys back in the ring. Get a Shakur, get a Tank. Because you got all the belts. I was at 140, not 135. Yeah, I have to go get all the belts.
The point is, can he go down to 135? That's the point I mean. So if he feels he can't get down to 135, he might as well just give him up, because he physically he's looking at himself. He's training at the weight. He's sparring at the weight. He probably thinks, I back myself now. I feel more healthier at this weight than I do at 135. At 135, the reason he may have been chinny or vulnerable could have been he didn't feel that he could pack into weight. I personally, I'm with you. I think power transcends. Yeah. And if you haven't got the power at 135, I don't see how all of a sudden you've got it at 140. I don't. I'm with you. But I think the confidence and the intelligence, to me, says he probably might find a way against Progress. But I'm conflicted because I support him Progress.
The only way he gets a bit more power at 140 if he was completely weight drained at 135 and he was fighting the
potentially. Yeah, potentially. We'll see. And that's why you say you're going to jump up to watch this, and that's why I probably will be, because it is an intriguing fight. And this is when Dead Zone becomes the zone.
You in this Dead Zone.
It becomes the zone this weekend.
All right. I'll be definitely watching that, mate.
Yeah.
All right. When Devin Haney threw those belts in the bin,
he didn't fund him, but
he threw the belts away. Yeah. It now makes Gervonta Davis, who is the regular champ.
He don't want them.
Yeah, he don't want them. F those belts. Yeah. Yeah, he wants like that. Yeah, exactly.
Consistent.
And I agree.
Consistent.
And I agree. Why take a belt like that?
He's been on Twitter, Instagram, X, whatever it's called now, laying into people for not really winning plastic championship, all that other good stuff, and he's being consistent, and he's saying he wants to win something in the ring. Good luck to him. Good luck to him.
All right, last bit from me. The British Border Control.
What they done now?
They hold their own, and they said they are not licensing Conor Ben for this Eubank fight, which Eddie Hearn had now said, Tottenham Hotspurs, I believe, 3rd of February, we are doing this. Yeah. And the board said no. Now, there's two sides to this argument, which I will get to in a second. Eddie Hearn now is speaking to the PBA, who is the sanctioned organisation that does misfits. Yeah? So, my two questions is if the PBA sanctioned it, does this fight class as a misfits fight? Because it's an absolute mess, this whole Conor Ben and Chris Eubank.
Because it's the other, when it comes to this sort of thing, you've got obviously Eddie Hearn and Calla Sutherland, who is heavily involved. Why are you laughing? Heavily involved in misfits.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you want to say it, but you're not going to say it on camera.
What am I going to say? What am I going to say? But
Kelly's a bit wired.
Yeah. So I don't know where they're going, to be honest. I really think I think Eubank Senior is beginning to make a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
And we might have to join this hashtag go and get your license because this is nonsense.
It is nonsense. I do give Eddie Hearn one bit of credit though in this whole thing where he said right, not credit, but he's been saying this right. And I don't think there's a agenda on Conor per se. However, I still don't understand why Robert Smith of the British Border Control is going on TalkSport to discuss these issues with bloody
with his mate.
No, this is what I'm trying to say. Like this you're a sanctioning body, you're a governing body. Mate. You should be doing that behind closed doors and going for. Why are you going on TalkSport? According to Eddie Hearn said, "Oh, thanks for letting us know on TalkSport. It would mean nothing if you told us."
Listen, I'm
not saying that's true. I'm just saying though, Robert Smith shouldn't be on TalkSport talking about this.
Listen, I don't know. I'll be honest. Robert Smith's done well because I don't really know who that guy was until he started going on TalkSport. So he's made a name for himself, innit? How can you knock him? I didn't know he was, but now we all know he is. So he's made a name for himself. He's done well. Yeah, I think Robert Smith's done well.
Yeah.
He's become a little celebrity wherever he's from.
Yeah. But do you think, forget Robert Smith particularly, do you think a governing board or a regulation agency should be discussing these matters publicly on a sports radio station?
Yeah, it's become a bit tit for tat. It has become.
No, you know what I'm trying to say?
It's become a bit tit for tat.
For me, again, not being bad, one, do I lose respect for the board, but you're losing credibility. You're losing credibility.
I think they're both losing credibility.
No, they're both sides.
Both sides.
Matchroom lost more credibility for this whole Conor Ben scenario, more than the board, because the board is just trying to uphold the rules of the sport, and the way Conor or Matchroom, whoever you want to call, has gone around this whole Conor Ben thing is not good. However, you can't talk about these type of matters openly when it shouldn't be done that way. You should supposed to be held to a higher standard. Don't follow suit.
Listen, I don't get it. I don't get hardly any of it. Like, what? The guy took something. We don't know how whatever got inside him. Somebody said it's eggs. Then somebody said, no, it's not eggs. Like, then some boxing council said...
ABC, your favourite.
Said, we can't see anything wrong. Yeah? On what grounds? Not sure. I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe I'm not following the story. I'm not sure. And then, so why don't we just get some clarity here? What did you take? Why was it in your body? Or was it in your body? Was your sample contaminated or was it not contaminated? Was it eggs? Was it not eggs? Like, what's going on?
So you said on Head of the Table, the promoter was that Eddie Hearn is the best or the biggest spin doctor in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? by Eddie saying that we're clear, we've been adjudicated, and X, Y, Z, so on, so on, so yeah, when that's not really true, yeah, he's playing the game, yeah, right? By saying defiantly, we are having this fight, we are doing this, we are doing that, blah, 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 and I'm trying to say, yeah, again, he's spinning the narrative, you know what I mean? You know, right? So he's doing all the things that you shouldn't really do or say to make this fight. Yeah? Right? So he's spinning all of it. But then by Robert talking and the WBC talking and everyone talking, you're giving the man the right fire to make these mix up stories. By keeping your mouth shut and doing it by the book, you can't misconstrue things. But by talking so much, you're giving the person fire to mix it up. Do you get my point?
Yeah, I keep on, but I still think we should hold the boxer accountable.
Of course you hold the boxer accountable.
You should come forward and if he's innocent, he's innocent, but just tell us how.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, if he came out when this thing whole started maybe a year ago, 18 months ago, and said, "Look, something happened, it was an accident, blah blah. Here's my test, so and so," he might be free to fight already.
Yeah, I think these fighters are just not helping themselves. I mean, I heard was it Dean White, Dylan's brother brother, say that Jarrell Miller's a pharmacy. I thought like
I did watch that. I
thought like, can you really say that at this precise moment? I don't know. And I'm not having a go. I'm just saying we need some clarity in all these things. We don't, because it's all right. So having a go at Jarrell Miller, but he's not.
All right. So again, Eddie Hearn said this week he believes Conor Ben. That's why he's supporting him. He doesn't believe Jarrell Miller. Yeah. That's why he's not supporting him. Cool. Everyone's free to their own. You know what I'm trying to say. And the scenarios are slightly different because Jarrell Miller did have everything under the sun.
I fully agree, but
however, it's the same premise. Yeah. You fail the test. You go through the process. You can't criticize Jarrell Miller for trying to circumvent the process
and educate us,
and then support Conor Ben
and educate us, because, like you say, Jarrell Miller, like you say, is clear. He put his hands up, and it's clear to us. So whatever we think of him, whether he should be fighting, whether he should be banned for life, whatever, at least it's clear. This isn't clear. All of these other cases are not clear.
Yeah.
It's like you hear that they use some precedent, because Tyson Fury never got done, so they don't. So it doesn't mean that anyone's actually clear. It's like something happened 4 years ago. Some lawyer saying, well, if you let him off, then you should let this guy off. Yeah. You're hearing all these rumours rather than hearing, the guy was actually clear and the sample was contaminated, or so. Anyway, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I'm not being bad yet. Every time a fighter gets caught, the promoters go, no. No, every time a fighter gets caught and it's against the house promoter's fighter, it's the worst thing under the sun. Yeah. When it's in-house and it's the promoter's fighter, there's always some story. I fully agree. There's always some sort of story.
Hearing about Zoltan Tete that they've thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
And
Zoltan Tete, yeah.
Yeah, Zoltan, sorry.
Yeah. He's a good fighter as well.
Yeah, and it's been thrown under the bus, and then, like you say, if it's another name, then potentially there's a bit more paid for. A slicker lawyer gets paid for.
Old story. I've said this story on videos 100 times before, and then I'll wrap it up in this year. I remember when David Price was fighting Tony Thompson, and Tony Thompson takes blood pressure medication, and it wasn't declared that they wanted to ban Tony Thompson for knocking out David Price. That's why they were banning him for. Yeah, because his high blood pressure tablets wasn't nothing illegal, nothing crafty, but they didn't like it when it's on the other side of the foot. Yeah. If it was the other way round and David Price was taking high blood pressure tablets and he knocked out Tony Thompson, you wouldn't have heard a whisper about it.
So he just knocked him out again.
Yeah, but you get my point. I'm trying to say that like it's one rule for one and another rule for another.
No, you're right. Right. And we've got to get some clarity, I think, because he's not doing anything for sport or for anyone, to be fair.
No, it's not, mate.
It's not. So let's see what happens. As I said, Eubank's stalling, so maybe he values his license, because if he signs that fight, signs for that fight.
As much as the board says that if anyone fights him, they're gonna ban them, I don't think they legally can. I don't think they can legally can. Eubank hasn't done nothing wrong. He could get a license he could get a license in any place in the world to fight. He hasn't cheated nothing. So in theory, saying
That's a good
because
point.
yeah, know what I mean?
Good point.
He's not nothing wrong. He's just trying to make a living.
Yeah, it's a good point.
The issue will be Conor Ben.
It's a good point. Yeah, but he would have to.
He might have to go for a hearing,
Yeah.
and the board might say, "Oh, that was really shitty
He
move."
might dot his I's and cross his T's before, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'll have to check with his solicitors and to check that what you're saying is the case.
I'm just okay. What are you saying? What has he done wrong? He chose to fight a guy in his country
Who may have done nothing wrong, but don't want to prove his innocence.
He hasn't done nothing wrong really.
Yeah.
Know what I mean, it's more of a threat. You know what I'm trying to say. What's the word? Restriction of liberty. Yeah. All right then, fellas. That is it. Interesting week in boxing.
Always is.
As we alluded to, Saturday night, big fight, Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney. I'll be up watching that live. For any quick reviews on that fight, on that card, check out Twitter. Is it Twitter? No, TikTok. I'll be making videos all night for that one.
TikTok or X?
TikTok. Yeah. All right then, everyone. Charlie, have a good week, brother.
And you. And everyone out there, like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Have a good week, everyone.